Yeah, that was a tremendous panel, by the way. It was not only informative, but I think it was really, like you mentioned, it's insightful because, like you said, she was from China, went to Japan, came to the U.S., joined the military. I mean, so she's seeing a lot of different aspects of how, societies and different cultures are, supporting their loved ones when they need to be that family caregiver. One thing I wanted to mention to you, I know we had interviewed a couple of the 2025 class of Dole Fellows, and the two that I interviewed, just remarkable people, and it's really easy to see how they became a fellow. Both of them really stood out for me, but the one I wanted to share right now was Lena Redshaw, and
Mm-hmm.
she's in her early mid 30s, and I really didn't know because she wasn't the original person we were scheduled to sit down with. The original person wasn't able to attend, and so we're kind of going into it a little blind, knowing some of the background. And she, talking about the vulnerability. This is a mother, a wife, and somebody, like I said, in their early mid 30s, and I know you probably know her story, but for our viewers and listeners who aren't familiar, she's stepping up and trying to help make a difference when, she has multiple children under the age of 12. She had a 10-month-old at home. And, for viewers and listeners that might think where this is going, she's not caring for a parent. She's caring for her spouse who, was in the military, suffered a traumatic brain injury from jumping from a helicopter. And as a result of that brain injury, it triggered a genetic mutation in her husband's brain that led to early onset Alzheimer's. And as we're talking, I'm trying to hold back emotion. Obviously, for her, it wasn't as easy. And, she started to, weep and cry. And, but that didn't stop her from sharing that vulnerability because she's trying to help make an impact and a difference in other caregivers' lives. And I think it just speaks volumes to the remarkable work that you and the Elizabeth Dole Foundation are doing and what this convening is all about.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Her story is very powerful and moving, and even more moving is the strength with which she talks about her experience and is committed to making things better for other caregivers like her. And I also want to note that this early onset Alzheimer's and connection to TBI is sadly something that we are increasingly seeing in the community that we support. And um, it's all illnesses and injuries are hard to manage, but you know, seeing someone at such a young age experience this illness is extraordinarily hard. And every time I have a chance to talk with one of our fellows, it was great because they were almost all of them were there, not just for the convening, but for the entire week, something we called Fellows Week. But every time I talk with one of them, I learn something new, or a feeling that I didn't even realize I had comes up, and they really are at the heart of the foundation and what we do.